What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure preview video. Today we are going to be taking a look at Black Widow, her Artisan edition, special edition from the movie Iron Man 2. This is the second figure that we do today. Earlier today we did Iron Man, his Mark 42 version from Iron Man 2, and now today we are doing later on this afternoon, right now we're doing Black Widow, right? So this is an Artisan edition, right? And to me, without question, the best Black Widow we have ever received from Hot Toys. I've seen other figures from her, from the Black Widow movie, from the Avengers movies, right? And to me, this is by far the best figure I have ever seen for Black Widow, right? To me, it resembles Scarlett Johansson from every single angle. Now, unfortunately, this was an exclusive version no matter what, so even the collector edition was exclusive, and that's because Hot Toys made the decision to do an Artisan edition or rooted hair for every single version of the figure. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have a big issue with that. The reason why is because, number one, so let's say I don't get the Artisan edition figure because it's an exclusive. I mean, pretty much that means I'm out of options, right? I don't get a chance of getting this Black Widow, right? So that's one thing that bothers me. And then second thing also, the rooted hair is not for everyone. Some people prefer the plastic hair, right? You know, the rooted hair is obviously more work to deal with. It's much more of a struggle, right? It's harder to pose and to get the figure prepared. So some people prefer to avoid those issues, right? And they'll just rather have the figure with plastic hair, and pose are much easier, right? So the fact that Hot Toys didn't really give us that option with this figure does, you know, to me, I do have an issue with that. Now again, me personally, I was gonna go with the Artisan edition either way because I want to get the best possible version for the figure, right? And to me, the rooted hair does look really great on this figure, so I definitely wanted to grab her. Again, as I mentioned before, it is an exclusive version, so as much as I would like to include the link to Sideshow Collectibles for this figure, I don't think that they're gonna release more, and right now it's just to join the wait list, so pretty much they have run out, right? So just to kind of discuss the differences with the figure, so the collector edition is pretty much just a figure with every single piece of accessory, right? And then the special edition is again all of that, but then we get an Iron Man gauntlet added to her. So for those of you guys who don't remember that scene where they're at the party and pretty much Tony is drunk, right? And he and Natasha are pretty much I would say kind of being friendly, flirting, right? He allows her to try on the gauntlet, right? So that is from that scene, right? Now the suit itself is from later on in the video. I'm sorry, not in the video, but in the movie, right? To me, when I think of this figure, I think of those scenes that she had with Happy, right? Whenever they do arrive, I forget the name of the villain. I forget if it was Harper, right? Or I know it's with the letter H, right? Please forgive me, guys, for messing that up, right? If you guys don't mind correcting me in the comments, but it's whenever she gets there, that's what I resemble this image to, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the images, right? So obviously we're doing the special edition since that's what I'm getting. As I mentioned before, the Iron Man gauntlet that comes on the left hand. The figure itself to me looks absolutely awesome. Great body proportions. I can tell it's a female figure. They've done great with this. The suit itself looks really nice as well. I can tell, well, I'm telling by the pictures that we really are not going to have any risk as far as damaging that suit, depending on how we want to pose her. The hairpiece looks absolutely amazing, right? Now again, as I mentioned before with other Artisan edition figures, right, we definitely have to wait until we get the figure, right? Because obviously the images will look as great as possible, but once we get the figure, what if something goes wrong? What if the hairpiece is not as great as we thought it would be? What if it's hard to you know, to kind of articulate the hair along with the head sculpt, right? So those are things that I'm definitely concerned, right? And I've never dealt with rooted hair myself, so I will definitely be looking out to see how it's gonna look for this figure, right? Posing and things like that is gonna be much harder, right? Hopefully it's not as much of a struggle as I think it will be, but we'll see once we actually get the hairpiece and the whole figure, right? Now for me, again, as I mentioned before, with the images that we have right now, they look really good. Now the head sculpt itself, it is the best head sculpt I've seen for Black Widow. Now a part of me, from some angles, the head sculpt does look a little bit thick from her cheeks. Right now, this angle to me resembles Black Widow the best possible. The hairpiece, again, as I mentioned before, the skin texture, her eyes, lips, everything looks absolutely amazing. Again, this to me is the best angle to take a look at. That face sculpt looks exactly like Scarlett Johansson. So as I mentioned before, right, to me the best head sculpt we have ever seen for a Black Widow figure, right, or Scarlett Johansson, right. Things that the figure comes with. So I did want to go back to the second image. So we get some grappling guns, right, and some weapons that she uses, right, which we would obviously review once we actually get the figure. Now we get a lot of hand displays. We get a total of 12 hand pieces, and I am totally stunned by that, right? But I guess it's a good thing, so that way we have different options to pose the figure. We do also get a square display base, and it says with magnetic that it's a magnetic figure base. Now I'm wondering what they mean by that. Do they mean that literally by me having the figure stand on the display base, it connects via magnet? Because if that is it, to me, I am all happy about that, because to me it would be easier to pose the figure and I don't risk it falling in any way. And also the base doesn't look as big as other display bases. It seems like a really small, so it won't take up too much space as well, right? Now, one thing that I am wondering is that flooring, where does it come from, right? Because I did take a look at that scene where she's with Happy with that building where they were in, and the floor was pretty much flat white with no square tiles. So I really want to know, right? I feel like you guys who have watched the movie more might know better, right? So if you guys don't mind letting me know in the comments, right, if you guys know where that flooring comes from. But I have no issues with the display base, right? If you want to take a closer look to it, it just pretty much has a nameplate of obviously Black Widow, and then that flooring, right? And again, if it does have magnet, it would be awesome, because it would be easier to display the figure with the display base. And again, as I mentioned before, right, just the weapons, the refined figure body and proportion, which I can tell really easily. The new Black Widow head sculpt, right, slash Scarlett Johansson. Again, some weapons, and again, of course, I mentioned before, the Iron Man gauntlet, right? So pretty much that's all that I have to say for the figure, right? I'm really excited to get her. Again, my first ever Black Widow, and she looks absolutely stunning, right? As I always like to say, these are just prototype images. Once we actually get the figure, we'll see how she ends up looking, right? But I think for now it looks absolutely amazing. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the figure, right? As I mentioned before, right, unfortunately I can't include the link to Sideshow because the figure is not available, and I don't think she'll ever be again. I think what the pieces that they release is what they'll have for now, right? So maybe you guys want to try Pop Collectibles, or maybe other third-party stores like Comic Concepts that might have the figure, although unfortunately it would be at a higher price. So for now, guys, this is going to be it for this Black Widow figure. Before I do end the video, guys, usually I thank you guys for the support, right? But now more than ever, I wanted to thank you guys, because obviously throughout the last days I've been dropping a lot of figure preview videos, especially because of how many figures Hot Toys has been releasing recently. And I just want to thank you guys, because on each video there's at least 2 to 3 comments, right? And I always like when you guys comment, because it lets me know that you guys are interested, number one, and that also you guys like giving your input on these figures, right? And I want that. I want you guys to give your own opinion about the figures. I want you guys to comment on them, to let me know what you guys think, to let me know what are the things that I miss, or let me know if you disagree with me on a certain opinion. As long as you guys are nice about it, I can always respect that, right? Again, I know that we can have some disagreements, and again, this is the reason that these videos exist for me, right? I like making these videos so that way we all have a voice on what the figures are and how they look, right? And that we can all agree on something or disagree on something, right? So again, the last couple of videos, all of you guys have been dropping comments, and I just want to thank you guys for chiming in on these figures, right, and leaving your opinions, right? So as always, thank you again for watching my videos, for supporting the channel. And as I always like to mention, if it is the first time that you're watching me, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell, so that way you're always updated with any videos that I drop on a daily basis. Once again, a reminder that I am on Instagram and TikTok. The links to that are on the description of the video. Feel free to follow me on both of my links. There is where I post daily the images of my figures along with updates that I have coming up for my YouTube channel. So once again, guys, I want to thank you for joining me today on this Black Widow from Iron Man 2 Artisan Edition figure preview. Thanks again for the support, and I will see you next time.